Hello, it's Terrie from TLC, and I want to talk about something that I really don't want to talk about, but I need to, or I feel I need to. There's this push to speak about it, and I hope it doesn't upset people, but the truth of it I feel needs to be discussed. And that is why it's so hard to get an appointment in a dog grooming salon on the same day. Our phone rings all year round, every day. There's at least 5 people that will call and want to know if we've got time to do a dog today. And it gets worse in the heat, for the obvious, right? The summer months, people want that hair off and they want to tend to the dog's needs. I understand that. And the answer when they call here, it's always no, I don't have time today. My day today was pre-booked and predetermined at minimum 6 to 8 weeks ago. Okay. Tomorrow was the same thing. Wednesdays is the same thing. I'm always working 6 to 8 weeks ahead in my schedule. Okay. And most grooming shops are, I think. At least I hope they are. I brought this in for myself over 10 years ago because my income would do this. Without the pre-booking, it would do this. When I just sit around and wait for people to call, right? It's just not good business sense, okay? And I realized when the owners were pre-booking their appointments, those dogs were in fairly good condition all the time. The dogs got used to me. The grooming experience became a part of their everyday life, not everyday life, but a part of their routine of their life, rather than them going so long and so overtime that it became kind of torturous because they were not just weeks, but they were months overdue, okay? So essentially, 90% of the clientele that I have, before they leave, they go out the door, we've got them pre-booked for when they're coming back in September. Okay? So there's that piece. New clients that are calling a grooming salon to get in that day, they're kind of competing with the existing relationships that are already in place in that salon. Okay? Because the day's already set. If you've got a bigger dog that you're trying to get in, and we get this a lot, the bigger dogs take up a ton of real estate in their dog grooming salon. So your chances of getting in on the same day or last minute are slim to none because of the time that they have to create in their book that doesn't exist because everything's pre-booked. Okay? So there's that. It's business sense to pre-book your clients when you're a dog groomer, and we do it. Okay? And it helps the dogs out tremendously. Okay, so there's that piece. And how do you get around this? You need to find a groomer that you like and that works well with you, works well with your dog, and stick to it. Now, this is the really uncomfortable piece, and I don't want people to feel angry or shamed about it, but it's the truth. If someone is picking up the phone and calling me today, they don't have a relationship with the groomer most of the time. Sometimes there's other reasons, but 95% of the time it's because they've not established a building relationship with the dog groomer. So what will happen is if I bring that dog in, it's very rare that when I bring that dog in, that it hasn't gone really long over time before it's been professionally groomed by another groomer. So I've got a really dirty dog. I've got a lot of mats to deal with. I've got a lot to deal with. So what would have taken me an hour and a half is going to probably take me 3. Well, there isn't time in my schedule because it was already predetermined 6 to 8 weeks ago to find an hour and a half, let alone possibly 3 hours to deal with this dog. The other part of it is when a dog doesn't have a regular routine in its life where it sees someone or some establishment on a regular, consistent basis, it's very uncomfortable for them. They don't know the building, they don't know the people, they don't know the routine, they're overgrown, right? There's all these uncomfortable things, and it's kind of torturous for them. They don't like it, they fight it, they resist it, right? You get bucking, you get rearing, you get peeing, you get pooping, you get biting, you get screaming, okay? So that it takes longer to deal with that, to keep it from going up to this level, because you don't want that. You want to keep them and bring them down so that they can establish a relationship of trust. And you have too many challenges when you've got that kind of a situation, okay? Plus it affects the other dogs in the room, and you can't have that. They're here every 6 to 8 weeks, got to nurture those relationships. So you can't have something new coming in that hasn't been seen in 4 months by a professional. Try and undo that, all that stuff, and then keep all your existing clients happy. It just doesn't work, so you don't do it. You find a place in the appointment book that you can. Today I had a spot for tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. By 9:30 this morning, that 8 o'clock spot was gone, okay? I've got a couple of spots for Thursday and Friday. Got my days confused, for Thursday and Friday. So if someone new does call, or a regular client does call, I can put them in there. But it's almost impossible for me to find a spot for somebody on the same day, okay? That's just how it goes. So how do you get around this? You got to find a groomer that you like and that you trust and that you're willing to work with and that your dog likes and wants to work with, and stick with it. Pre-book your appointments. Even if you have to cancel that appointment, you know it's coming a week out before that appointment's coming due, and you know that you're going to have to work that day. You didn't think you were going to have to work that day, whatever the case, something's come up and you need to change it. At least you've got that in your calendar and it's been predetermined, and then you can change it from there, okay? That happens all the time. I get clients all the time, every day. They're calling because something in their world is changing and they wanted to change tomorrow's appointment into a different day, okay? You've got that relationship with them, and you're going to stand on your head to try and accommodate them, okay? So you need that relationship. You build such a relationship with your clients that you know when they call that they're going to try and slip up to the cottage real quick, or you know so much about their lives. Shift workers, there's a lot of that, right? You always are working hard for your shift workers, okay? So it's a good thing that your groomer understands those pieces of your life, because she tries to find a place for you in your appointment book. But when she doesn't know who you, or he, there's men groomers, when they don't know you and know anything about your life, it's hard for them to navigate it through, and people get really frustrated with it. They're rude on the phone quite often. You got any grammar? They get short and abrupt and stuff. And I know that they've just started at the top of the list in the Google, and they're making their way down. I don't have to deal with too much miserable because we're number one in the Google for the most part. So we're one of the first. We get the call first, right? But anyway. So that's what you want to do. You want to establish a relationship so that it becomes part of the dog's routine, part of the dog's life, okay? And you have that human connection with the dog groomer. It's really important, okay? Alrighty, if you've got any things you want to discuss about this one, then drop it in the comments below, and I'll circle back around when I'm finished Bella. I got Bella coming in a few minutes, and answer your questions, okay? I got to run and do some things and then groom another dog. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.